Welcome back, everyone. Are we recording? Is
Mhm.
this thing on?
On. We're good to go.
Alrighty, welcome back to another sit-down session with Patty and Nicole. Patty is so brilliant. Anyway, what did you do on the weekend, Pat?
God, you are.
Segue.
Segue. Well, welcome back to Two Screws Loose. Let's introduce that first.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the name. I don't like saying it because I'm always like, two loose screws, two
No,
screws
it's Two
loose.
Screws Loose, unless it's different on the actual thing.
I don't
we'll
know.
call it whatever we want. But yeah, welcome back to that. What did I do on the weekend? I was here on Saturday. Was I here on Saturday?
Yeah, Will saw you. You were in normal people clothes, he said.
Was that Saturday or was that Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. I was here Saturday, that's right. And then Sunday I went to a market and I lined up for 40 minutes to get donuts. The queue was fucking huge. And I came with Queen Vic Market and I went to this donut place and I was like, I thought it'd be packed on a Sunday, right? It was packed with people, but it wasn't packed with any stores. There was nothing there.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit...
Most of it was shut, so I was like, this is fucking lame. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get some donuts. And I walked past the donut van, and I was like, oh, there'll be a couple people in line, whatever, normal lines. No, this thing was, if you've been to Queen Vic Market, the donut thing starts at one end, and the line was all the way down the street to the other. So I waited in that line. Donuts were borderline average, not worth it.
Not worth the 40 minutes.
No, you can order them online, and it would have been faster for me to order them online and just sit on a seat across the thing, and then just go pick them up in the 15 minutes from the thing. But I didn't realise that until after I'd lined up.
Oh.
So should have done that. There's a pro tip for you. Then I drove to South Melbourne Market, and that was much better. But by that point, I'd already had enough, and there was too many people.
Oh, yeah.
And people just stop and dawdle, and I was getting angry, so I went home.
Did you have a good time at all?
Oh, it was good, but by the second market and the amount of the sheer volume of people that were trying to cram into those halls, yeah, I just couldn't deal with it. And people stopping and bumping into me, I was just getting angry. I just needed to leave. So I got coffee and left. I paid $7-8 for a coffee. Left.
Nice.
Should have just stayed home.
Should have just
stayed home. What did you do on the weekend?
Well, I accidentally took 2 of my ADHD pills on Saturday. Not 1, but 2.
So did that make you better or worse? Did that fix the problem or did it make the problem worse?
Well, so they say maximum dose is 70 milligrams. I had 80.
Oh, so you would have been going nuts, right? Eh?
I was like, I went through phases of being real zombie.
Yeah.
Like real zombie. But when, like, normally I counted the pills in the bottle. I was like, I definitely didn't have one. And I don't remember it. I don't remember it all. This is the problem with having ADHD. How do you remember taking your pill? So it'd been like a whole hour since I apparently took one. And I was like, nothing working. I obviously didn't have it. Waited a little bit longer. I had it. An hour later, I was like sweating.
You should take a photo every time you take it.
I normally put it in my mouth and go, I'm having my pill. So I can remember. Anyway, so that was eventful. I was just on autopilot most of the day.
Yep.
Sunday, went and got a coffee, spilt the coffees in the cafe. Embarrassing.
I saw that, yeah.
And then got my market trolley on the side of the street. So we went to the market, and
What market did you go to?
South Melbourne Market.
Oh, you went to the same one, right?
And normally I'm very much in my routine. I have to wake up, I have my little electrolyte drink, I have my medicine, I have my coffee. Slow start to the day, but we had no electrolytes left, so that's why we went and we got a coffee. And I was like, we'll just get one out on the way. Then I found the market trolley, and then all of a sudden I was at the market, and it was a complete change in routine. And I was like, wait a second, why is Will so okay with going to the market? Because we're getting shit done early, and we didn't have my little autistic hour at home before I venture out into society.
Yeah.
And he was all about it, but he would not push my trolley in the market. He was like, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch that. And I think we were just like, go. He forgot to get a parking ticket, so we got a parking fine.
How much you pay?
How much did we pay for the parking fine?
Yeah.
It's $91.
I paid $8 to park there.
Yeah, I know.
You know where all the strip of cafes are?
That's, yeah.
I parked across from that.
We're near Chef's Hat. Near Chef's Hat. I was like,
yeah, that's a bit of a stitch up. My dad had a market trolley. Because when we lived in Laverton, we go to the Laverton market, and because he was doing a bunch of metal work down, he needed copper. and they sold it cheap at the Laverton Market. Like they just ripped it out of some building
Yeah.
and just selling stolen copper.
No, his dad was buying it. He was not stealing it.
No, Dad didn't steal it. He just bought it, and then we would put it in the market, like the little cart thing, and just cart the copper all the way home. I was going to go to like the Laverton Market this weekend. I should have gone.
That would have been very interesting.
It would have been way better than the Queen Vic Market. Queen Vic Market's fucking shit.
I don't know. I think the only good part about Queen Vic Market is like the night noodle market when it's back winter.
That didn't happen at Saturday morning at 9 a.m. But I can understand Will's frustration of wanting to get out and get stuff done early.
Yeah, I like the slow start to the day.
No, I was here at 6:30 this morning.
Yeah, but you never used to be like that, remember? I was like, be a morning person, Patty. Be a morning person. I'm a morning person.
You're not a fucking morning, but it takes you an hour to get things done.
No. I just like to wake up before anyone else and just have my time to, myself, the quietness, the rush before the word.
But you don't actually get things done.
I do things at home. I just can't venture out into society.
Oh, that would frustrate the fuck out of me. I'm glad I don't live with you.
No, but it's fine if I wake up an hour earlier than you. I just need to have my little defrost.
Oh, so if Will wants to get out by 9, you need to be up by 7:45 so you can have your little hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's fine. And I will wake up earlier purely just to have that hour.
But what happens if you don't have that hour? Can you just have that in the car on the way there? That's me in the car on the way here. I sit in silence. Car.
No.
No? Okay.
No,
right, fair enough.
We've done it, and I'm like, cannot compute.
Right, fair enough. Okay, well, good to know. Don't talk to Nicole in the morning. Outside of that, though, you been doing any fad diets lately?
No fad diets.
No fad diets, yeah?
No fad
I don't know,
diets.
that was a bad segue. We're going to talk about fad diets today. I should have started that, but we're going to be talking about that. Mainly the big ones that I see being intermittent fasting, keto, and carnivore. Intermittent fasting, keto, carnivore.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Shrek reference. We're going to talk about those three. Maybe not into like the scientific nitty gritty, because I'm not sitting there reading study after study on carnivore diet. I can just tell you that it has some popularity, it has some benefits, and has some cons, and we'll talk about those. But I'm not going to go into the molecular structure of this, that, and the other.
Amino acid chains.
Yeah, because I don't really fucking care, to be honest with you, and it's not applicable. You probably don't need to know it. Ultimately, so we're going to start with, we'll go through keto, because the keto is probably the most popular one.
I've done keto.
I've done keto too. Actually, we'll throw in shake diets in there too, because
I've done them all.
Good. Have you done carnivore? I think that would be the worst one out of all. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
No.
Will's like dabbled to try it and say that he'll do it.
He just likes eating meat, though.
And I said, no, hon, I can't afford to feed you that much meat.
I've got some clients that do carnivore just because out of preference
I've got
they
a friend
enjoy
who's
it.
done it.
But like, we'll just cut to the chase now. If you don't watch any of the rest of the podcast, watch this bit. If you enjoy it and you can stick to it, then go for it. I don't need to talk about anything else. That's the crux of the fad diets. If they're fads but you can stick to them and you enjoy them, then
forever. If you can enjoy it forever.
I'm going to push back on that.
Why?
Because if you don't need to stick to it forever.
Yeah, but if you get to a point where you've lost all this weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just start introducing all the foods back, how do you know how much of everything else to have?
Yeah, but you don't learn that through any other diet modality either. That just comes through nutritional education. So like that can be paired with keto.
Well, you're going to learn about how to have carbs and not actually learn how to do it?
That's not what I'm saying, though.
What are you saying?
You cut me off before I could finish.
Okay, sorry.
Fuck, Jesus, fuck. What I'm saying is that you can stick to keto for the rest of your life, provided that you understand what you're doing.
No, I'm saying if you're planning to, I'm agreeing with you. If you're not planning, if you're only doing keto to lose weight, and then you're going to go back to your regular habit afterwards, it's not going to work long term. If you want to do keto forever, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, even if you want to come off keto, provided that you understand what you're doing, and that just comes through education. That doesn't come through particular diet modalities. But
where are they going to learn that?
Us.
So we're going to give keto diets out?
I've got clients that do keto.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they also understand the fundamentals behind it.
Yeah.
It's just because
So do they go out and eat keto dinners?
No, technically, they probably don't follow keto specifically because they go.
Yeah.
It's a combination of the two. They just prefer the lower fat, or the higher fat, lower carb just what they prefer. So that's what I write. If they stick to it, they understand that they can go out and eat carbs. It's not their fear of carbs. It's just what they prefer.
Yeah, if it's what you prefer, then go ahead.
And they know. Well, actually, this is a good segue into it. Then they know that keto is not the magic answer to their fat loss problems.
Yeah,
it's because I'll tell you how keto works. I'll tell you how all of them work. They're a calorie deficit, the big buzzword.
But I've tried a calorie deficit.
Yeah, the amount of times I hear that too. Don't worry. No, you haven't. I did a video on this yesterday. If you think you're in a calorie deficit and you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. You may think you are, but you're probably eating XYZ on top of. Track that stuff in and then see where your calories really are. Don't lie to yourself. But keto, you're cutting out fat. You're cutting out carbs. So you did a video on this yesterday. When you cut out carbs, well, every time you consume a gram of carbohydrate, it gets converted to glucose and then stored as glycogen. Every time you store glycogen, you store water with that. I think it's 1 to 3 grams. Don't quote me on the number. Yeah. But as soon as you pull those carbs out, you then, what happens? Glycogen, gone, disappears. And with that, all the water is stored with it. So what happens? Poof, it's gone. It's disappeared. It's fucking gone. And then all of a sudden, you are now down 1 to 2 kilos in your first week of keto. And that's not fat. That's water. So then you create this buy-in to, okay, great. If I cut out carbs, I'm going to lose weight faster. Yes, but it's not fat. But that exact same buy-in is why it's so difficult to stick to. Because you cut out the carbs, but you really like the carbs. You stick to it for 3 weeks, and then you go, oh, this is too hard. Let's go back. And then all of a sudden you see this big spike because you add carbs back in, and now you think carbs are the enemy.
100%.
Did I say that all correctly?
Yep.
Yeah. So while keto has its pros, it also has a vast amount of cons. And I would argue, someone's going to be like, but this study says this, that the cons outweigh the pros in the simple fact of lifestyle balance.
And the thing is, I think you've already touched on it. I might have zoned it. I might have just be
not listening to me at all. Go on.
Imagining what you were about to say. Look, you've already said it, I think. Down to it. You're just in a calorie deficit. Mm-hmm. You're just choosing a different type of food. It's Correct. Not that you're eating a high fat diet, so you're going to burn more fat just because you're eating more fat. It's just you're eating under your total daily expenditure.
Correct. And I'm sure there's some study that goes into that higher fat diets burn more fat than than higher carb diets and this study. I'm sure there's some study that cites that, but I'm sure the difference is like 1%.
And if you're eating more fats, of course you're going to burn more fats.
Yeah, dietary fats.
Well, that's
the whole argument of keto. Is I'm pretty sure there was a study that was cited, and that's like the basis for all of it, that you burn more fats because in keto because it becomes a preferred energy source over time, and then you're burning more dietary fat, not body fat.
Yeah, because you're eating fats.
Yeah, and that information got bastardized, and now people just assume that means body fat when it's actually dietary fat. But regardless, you can still lose weight on it. It's just, can you stick to it? And that's the question you need to ask yourself before you start any diet.
And with keto, it's probably going to be successful in some way, shape, or form. But if you're only doing keto 5 days a week and then you're going out and enjoy it over the weekend, you stop that process.
Yeah.
It's like it has to be ongoing. If you've got any of those slip-ups, you're basically just going back to the start.
Correct. Yeah. There are a few that have like a modified protein fast. Like I've done that where it's just protein only. It's not technically carnivore because like vegetables and stuff are included, but the only reason you would do it is just because it pulls calories super, super low and it's very, very aggressive. I only did it for 3 weeks, I think it was, and it pulled off a bunch of fat. That was because it's a
mini cut.
A mini cut, but also very aggressive to get me in a position to where I could grow because I blew out. Wouldn't suggest it for people that are just like, I've had a big night out, I've put on some weight on the scale, I need to just only eat protein and vegetables for the next 3 weeks to pull that all back down. This was just very aggressive and very controlled, and then I was straight back to normal calories after. So there were like...
Well, you've got a good relationship for food. You've got the education around it.
Yeah. Sometimes extreme results require extreme inputs. What?
Did you hear that noise? It was like a noise from my throat. It was like... Meow.
No, I didn't hear any of that. No, you just brought attention to it. You're a weirdo. But sometimes, you need to go to extreme methods to get extreme results, and that's just something that you sign yourself up for. You sign up to a coach that's about that kind of stuff. So, like, I would never put a client on a protein fast. I've got 1 or 2 that would do it, but that because they're, like, advanced level, and sometimes it's needed, and they're just like, cool, whatever, I'll just suck it up and do it.
But they're compliant no matter what you give them.
Yeah. They don't. Their goals are outside of just lifestyle.
Yeah, they're not trying to heal their relationship with food, not get to the just.
No. They eat tuna and rice for breakfast because they need to hit their numbers.
Yeah.
They're like robotic about it. What was the next one? Intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting.
That one I have less of a gripe with.
I've done it.
I intermittent fast just like without knowing it. Like I think saying like too much. I intermittent fast without knowing it, considering the fact that I'm up at like today. See how it's like when Reese says right. Just segue. You know how he says right at the end?
I know, but I say like a lot too. But I feel like
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like saying like. Considering I was up at about I think 5:50 today. So my first meal, like intermittent fasting is just having feeding windows and then fasting windows, and you're intermittently fasting and breaking that fast. So I think it's like, is it 16 and 8 or something like that? I don't remember the exact numbers, but this morning I got up, I had my first meal at like 6:30, and then I will probably not eat till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I'm technically fasting. The only, like, the gripe that I do have with intermittent fasting is that people, it's predicated that you're going to eat less overall in that fasting window because you've got limited time to eat, right? So you might only have 6 hours to eat stuff. So you're going to get your 3 meals in those 6 hours, which great, cool, is a short amount of time. So theoretically you will eat less in that time because you've got such a short period of time to eat. And then you have to just be hard and fast. Like, okay, nope, now it's time to fast again, so I won't eat anymore. But the thing is, if you've only got that amount of time to eat and you're fasting for the next 16 hours or whatever it is, fair chance if you've got a poor relationship with food and haven't got your shit structured out, you're going to overeat and just gorge yourself in that time and be like, well, outside of these hours, it's calorie free and I'm not going to, but the totality of your total budget of calories for the week is still going to dictate whether you lose or gain weight. So if you're supposed to be eating, I don't know, 1,600 in those 6 hours, but you eat 2,000 because you're going to be fasting for the rest of the time, you're going to end up eating more total and not lose any weight or put on weight.
Yeah, 100%. I also find that a lot of my clients, they don't have brekkie. They often don't have much for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm needing to train them to be hungry again at breakfast and at lunch, regular times, because they're stuck in that, I'll just get to dinner, have dinner, famished. Or they're a snacker in the afternoon because they can't, then they haven't been hungry all day and now they're absolutely famished.
And like the calories will build up if you're snacking. So in terms of just like where you're not going to, like you open a bag of chips, you're not going to stop at 3 chips. Like the serving size is like 5 chips. You're not going to stop at 5. Yeah. I eat the whole fucking bag. So that's why I don't have them in the house. But you're right. It's like I think a rule of thumb that is James Smith, he'd say it all the time. And I agree with him to an extent. I think that's like, if you want to lose a little bit of weight, just cut out breakfast. It's like, yeah, logically, that's a very easy way to then lose weight without having to track your calories or your food because you're just removing one meal of the day. But at the same time, if you're removing breakfast and you're someone that regularly eats breakfast, you're going to be hungrier, which means you're more likely to have a bigger lunch and a bigger dinner, which then you're just going to eat the same amount of calories total across the week. So I think that tracking the food, at least you understand what you're doing, will then allow you to start to remove breakfast or remove lunch, but then you impact training performance. And there's a bunch of factors that need to play into it. So ultimately, it's just easier to track your food and eat less across the entire day than just trying to remove from one or two, like one meal completely for the day. Because if I don't have breakfast, I'm a fucking rat shit in the morning.
And the thing is, like, also with social things, what if you go out for, you'll be meant to be fasting till 11, 10, and you go out for breakfast at 7:30. It's either you've ruined your fast and you don't know how to space out the rest of your meals, or, sorry, I can't do it. Oop.
He's just a bit aggressive there. Yeah, and you limit yourself in a social capacity too. But yeah, I
understand where it's needed because there are some people that they really struggle with, I guess, their hunger and their portion control without the education. They want to have fat dog meals.
Yeah. Like it just comes back to like calorie banking. It's essentially just calorie banking.
It is just in a day rather than
for one event. Yeah. So like what I'll do when I go out is I'll fast that day. So like I'll have some protein for breakfast, maybe some protein for lunch, and then I'll just save the rest of my calories for my dinner, and I'll have a big fat dog meal.
I can end up doing it mostly on a weekend.
Yeah, intermittent fasting on the weekend is it comes back to still wanting to somewhat track it because I've got clients that do it too. But if they're inexperienced in tracking, and I tell them you can just hit your protein and your calories on the weekend. That becomes a little bit loose unless you understand how many calories you're actually eating, how you can track those off-plan meals, which is why we teach you to do it in our course.
I actually had a client do it on the weekend.
Yeah.
for the first time.
It's a terrific tool because it comes back to balance. Like if you're doing a comp prep, no, you can't do that. But just trying to lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah,
go for it.
She was going out for a bottomless brunch.
What is a bottomless brunch? I've never been.
It's not really brunch, but sometimes they have brunch food. You go in and you got 2 hours and you pay like $50 or whatever it may be, 70. I don't know what the price is, and you get a meal, but you get unlimited drinks for 2 hours.
Oh, I'd rather eat unlimited food.
There's bottomless gnocchi.
Oh, I'd be a fat dog rolling out of that. I'd be like, if it was
like, you can't have too much gnocchi. Like bottomless, I feel like after a bowl, I'd be like, oh, I'm a gnocchi now.
No, if I was to go to a bottomless brunch, I'd rather it be like bottomless like eggs and hash browns. I'm not going there to drink.
So all you want to go is an all-you-can-eat restaurant instead.
Yeah,
that's my type.
That's my type of jam.
There's actually a really good all-you-can-eat place at Water Gardens Shopping Centre. It's like a restaurant attached to it, I think. And it's like everything's clean and nice. The food is good, but they have a pasta bar. And you go and you tell them what type of pasta you want, what sauce they want, and they make it fresh for you each time. You can have unlimited.
How much is it to get in?
I don't know.
Oh, you've never been?
Yeah, I did. I can't remember.
Oh.
I just tappity tap. I don't look at the prices.
And then the money comes out of my account.
I'm like, where did it go?
It's like when you said you spent like $200 at that servo when you went away.
Oh, yeah. So we'll talk about that. Oh, actually,
finances.
Talking about prices, last night we were trying to find something to watch.
Yeah.
Stuck. And I found this movie and I was like, I really like that guy, like that actor. $17 for Amazon movie. I'll just get it. And Will was like on his phone doing like super coach, so he wasn't paying attention. I was like, ding.
I hate that they fucking charge you per movie.
We're watching. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to say this movie shit. Because
you just paid $7. It's like a Netflix subscription. You can just turn it off and you go to the next movie.
I was just saying I was like, I can't say
you probably
it.
get a refund on it if you really scrounged over the $20.
And then Will was like, this is really bad. He goes, what's with it? But it was like not a lot of dialogue. At one point they like kissed and then they never spoke about it again. I'm like, where is this movie going? I just don't get it. It was just like a budget cut movie, but with someone that's pretty like he's in quite a few movies. Must be desperate for cash at the moment.
Yeah, down his luck.
And we were like in bed, I think, and I said, I was like, that movie was so bad. And he goes, yeah. And I was like, can't believe I paid for it. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, it was $17. He goes, you are banned from the remote.
Yeah, that's just $17. Amazon do it all the time. Same with YouTube. They try and charge you for movies there as well. Like I want to watch one show that's like an old show. And because I've got Chromecast, I can just search it up and it'll just show me wherever it's hosted. And then I'll click it like, yeah, this place has got it. And it'll be like $25 for the season. And there's like 6 seasons. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that.
Oh, no, buy it. We bought 3 Law and Order SVU episodes for $20, but I love them.
3 episodes for $20.
Well, it's the new season. I've been waiting for like a whole year for this.
Fuck. I still make
in a criminal justice system, sexual abuse offences are considered especially heinous. The the detective...
Are they all about sexual violence?
Yes. Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
So like every episode's about a sex offender?
Some sort of sexual... Yep.
That would be so depressing to watch.
No, I love it because Olivia Benson catches the bad guys.
Yeah, no. I don't like those shows because they just depress me.
No, it kind of soothes my soul. Like the bad guys getting caught.
Oh. I watched Hawaii 5-0 for a bit. That was a good show.
Have you watched Californication? I think you'll love it.
That's with what's his name, David Duchovny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it, but I probably will. I like it.
Yeah, you'll think it's hilarious. It's funny.
It's on my list. I've been watching Big Bang Theory lately, and the more I watch it, the more I relate to Sheldon. That's like I wish I could have no filter like that and just say whatever I wanted, whatever came to my mind.
You don't?
All right, fair enough. All right, moving on. Carnivore. That was the last one. Carnivore. We'll do shakes and then we'll go to carnivore. I fucking despise shakes.
Uppity Slim, what's wrong with it?
I tell you what, the people that do the shakes, especially like the Opti Slim, are never slim. Yeah.
Sorry, I just squirted. Protein shake, not Opti Slim. He's like,
I might have to cut that bit out. Or just cut out the gap between where you said squirted and protein shake. Did you hear what you said?
No, you forgot.
You were just like, sorry, I squirted. Protein shake.
You could just smash up everything I say and make one big bad sentence.
Yeah, maybe we'll just clip that. That can be the clip of this podcast.
Stop it. Stop it.
This is a workplace. Please stop.
Where's HR?
Anyway, all right, back to OptiSlim. The man shake and the woman shake. I think it's the woman shake. They're in Coles, Woolies. They make a fucking fortune. Terrific marketing. If I was unethical, I'd do the exact same thing. But
if you had no morals.
If I had no morals and I just wanted to manipulate people and their emotions, then I would 100% do it. Because that bald guy on that ad, he's making a fucking fortune from it. Because they're in every store.
Literally.
Yeah, and they do a lot of Facebook ads too. So their marketing is on point. OptiSlim, shake this, shake that, whatever. I don't even know any others outside of OptiSlim. They worked.
I actually did the OptiSlim for a bit.
Did you?
Yep.
Did it work?
When that endocrinologist put me on an 800 calorie diet.
Oh yeah, that'll help your hormones, won't it?
Oh yeah, they were already shit house.
Did it fix them?
I didn't lose any weight.
Oh, what's
you know what's funny?
Surprise.
I actually ate 800 calories and my body was in such a high state of stress beforehand.
Yeah.
I did not lose any weight. I was just stagnant.
OptiSlim is fucking...
My hair was coming out.
Yeah. Health.
What
kind of endocrinologists are like nutrition go hand in hand, right? Endocrinology and 800 calories a day, they should know that that's going to fucking ruin you.
Yeah, you're not having regular periods. You've got issues with everything.
So eat less, right?
Just eat less.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was a joke, by the way. Please don't eat less.
This is a joke. Take it from me. I had no hair. And I got to the point where, like, before this, like, I already had low vitamin D. And, like, I was verge of osteoporosis. Like, my bones were brittle, right? I broke so many bones in, like, the space of not much time.
Mm.
Let's, like, ignore all of that and just focus on the fact that she's a fat dog. Put her on 800 calorie diet. We'll just magically fix everything. Yes, weight loss does help a lot of issues. However... 800
calories a day doesn't help anyone.
No.
No, fair enough. So I can understand, like, the shakes work. Again, they just come back to you eating less and they replace a meal so you're eating less calories. They're high in protein, so they're going to keep you fuller for longer. You can do that through food. You don't need to do that through a shake. The shake is not some miracle fat loss drug. It's just whey protein and some milk. And some probably...
They put some vitamins in there.
Yeah, some vitamins in there and some fat-burning supplements to make it feel like you're burning fat. But really, you're just eating in a calorie deficit. You're
just starving.
And it's just really good marketing. If I could market it calorie deficit the same way, it'd be a fucking squillionaire. I mean, there are coaching companies that do. They just do it really well. They just market a calorie deficit very well.
Tell Caldec. Your way to...
Caldec, is that what...
Caldef?
Sounds like a...
Def.
Yeah, Caldef.
Caldef.
That's our new product.
CD. Yes. It's CD and CP and Nappy Boy. You wanna love it. Anyway. Carnivores. Is that where we're at?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Just backtrack. Shake diets are not the same as having a smoothie for breakfast. Smoothie for breakfast, technically a shake, good alternative if you're short on time. Not the same as a shake diet. Carnivore. Now, this is the one that makes the biggest hype on social media because every man and his dog pumps it. The fucking Liver King pumps it. All this stuff. And if you're using most of these people that are reference points for carnivore that look jacked, it's because they're running a bunch of steroids as well. I would say, though, while carnivore, yes, has its pros, it also has its cons. I think we did an episode on this ages ago. It's one of the old podcasts before you started working here about it. And, like, I don't have all the studies that cite it, but yes, there's evidence that it have a lot of pro-health markers in terms of just, like, then there's a lot of subjective stuff about more energy, this, that, and the other. It's obviously high in protein, so you're going to stay full for long, but it also has many other negative side effects, like nutritional deficiencies that are found in foods outside of meat. And sure, you can take supplements to take those, but I feel if you need to take supplements on a diet, you're probably the diet isn't the best one. And like I think it was made popular on Joe Rogan. I'm pretty sure that he started popularizing
Probably
it.
Because every single man that listens to Joe Rogan is, I tried the carnivore diet.
Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure Joe came out and said
gospel.
I'm pretty sure Joe came out later and said that he'd done it for a bit and he felt like dog shit on it, and then went back to just eating carbs and felt better.
Can I just say how blood constipated would they be?
Yeah, but apparently your body adapts to it and you just start shitting normally. But like, also the fucking cost of meat. I don't want to eat meat every single day. I like carbs, and the thing is, like, carbs are our main source of energy. And like, sure, inflammation and stuff goes down, but like, you can manage your symptoms of like most of it's not through. Like, I can guarantee you, most of the people that have ailments that like the nutrition, like they just make poor nutritional choices anyway. It's not the fact that you're eating carbs is why they're so bad. Sure, you could lower your carb intake and reduce inflammation, but there could be a million other things that you could be optimizing to help improve that. I guarantee their sleep is dog shit. I guarantee their water intake is dog shit. I guarantee they're deficient in X, Y, and Z. And then as soon as they cut out, it comes back to blaming the carbs again as being the problem. When 90% of the time we've been eating carbs for many, many years. Many years. Hundreds of years. Thousands of years. Do
you remember that person on my I had a TikTok video? And my video was basically like, you don't need to cut out your favorite foods. Keto shit. Just do a calorie deficit because that's what it is. Yeah. And he was like going at me saying, what do you think our ancestors back in, tribal times ate? And I was like, berries.
Yeah, fruit.
Grasses.
Yep.
And he's like, they didn't have blueberries back in the day. I was like, wild berries, bitch.
Yeah.
But guess what? That is a carbohydrate.
They also died. Like you look at they also died very, very young. They also died from diseases that we have cures for now. So like comparing us to like the primates and the hunter-gatherers is like, I mean, you drive a car to work. It's not like you're running everywhere or you're walking everywhere. You have shoes on your feet. Modern food and modern medicine has revolutionized the world. Yeah, of course, obesity is higher, but that's just caused because we have convenience to food, and that's down to our own choices, not the fact that we're also millions of years evolved.
We're living a lot longer than we used to. Also, can I just side note?
Go on.
I was reading this study, it's like a study on a study. It was basically the Alzheimer's, I think, was not a thing. Can't remember the year. I remember it ends in a 9. Anyway, until then. And margarine and vegetable oils had become really popular about 10 years or something before that.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden, they were like drawing the links between the two, vegetable oils and these cases of Alzheimer's. And that got me thinking, baby.
There's probably a link to it, but I'm sure that Alzheimer's was a thing well before.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, there was no cases that they...
But also, like, autism wasn't a thing for...
Oh, yeah.
They were all just put in homes.
Oh, yeah. Plus, also, people are living a lot longer.
So, yeah, there's, like... People put it... Like, the social media is just, like... It gets... Like, everything gets bastardized. I'm sure Alzheimer's was a thing well before that there was a connection made between the two. Probably just didn't have a diagnosis. Like, bipolar, BPD, same thing. But, OCD...
No, BPD and bipolar are different.
Are they?
Borderline personality disorder and bipolar are two different things.
Well, they probably both didn't have diagnoses 40 years ago.
No, borderline personality disorder was PTSD.
So they've then separated them.
Well, yeah, because PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder caused by an event.
Yep.
Borderline personality disorder is not actually from one event.
It's a congregation of things, or it's something you're just born with?
You can be born with, I think, the predispositions to
because you can't be born with PTSD because it's not from a singular event.
Yeah, you've already got the genes to sort of have BPD,
and it just gets worse if you're exposed to something.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
It's like ongoing trauma sort of thing.
I see. So, like in that case, then I'm sure there are links to foods that expedite those. It's like tomato seeds are linked to cancer; they're carcinogenic.
Oh, everything's linked to cancer.
So take what you will with the information. If you don't like something because you read something, cool. Go find some other things that contradict it, and then because it's like the whole social media, they'll see one thing and then they'll believe it, and that's it. They won't find anything that contradicts the evidence to support the opposite.
And often you just find things that you want to believe. You want to go.
Yeah, you confirm your biases.
Yeah.
It's like vegetable oils and all that kind of stuff. The vegetable oils are the bad ones that people hate, like seed oils and stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty. They taste bloody good though.
Yeah, but like... We do a lot of bad shit. like alcohol. I'm sure alcohol kills more people than fucking seed oils do.
No, who knows?
So it's like you take the good with the bad. If you like some, is it seed oils? Am I talking about like canola oil and shit?
Yeah, vegetable oils. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. They taste good. Just don't eat heaps of them, and you'll be fine.
Just have them for little treaties.
There you go. Moderation. Wow, it comes back to that. It's like these people that are like, you have to have this type of water. It has to be through this. It has to be through that. I've been drinking tap water for fucking years.
Years.
Since I was born, I've been drinking tap water.
No, not really, because you can't have water for a fair few months when you're born.
Okay. All right.
I think like 6 months or something.
6 months. Okay, so from the age of 7 months old, I've been drinking tap water, and I haven't died. I would say
Praise the Lord.
I had pretty good blood work too.
Have you lived?
Have I lived though? No.
Well,
If I was
that's
having
a
this
choice.
filtrated water, I'd be fucking living right now. Except I'm just surviving,
Not thriving.
not thriving. Anyway, take it all with a grain of salt. Do your research before you start a diet. The question you need to ask yourself is: can you stick to it long term, and is it something that fits with your lifestyle? Because if you have to change all of your lifestyle parameters to fit with this one diet, probably not for you. It should go. You're going to have to make some sacrifices and some changes, but it should cohesively get along with your lifestyle quite well. So, if you don't know where to begin, go to our calorie calculator. It'll spit out some calories for you and some macros that you can follow, and then go and take that and download our Macros Made Easy ebook, which marketing, it's free and it's really good too. And it will teach you how to track your macros. And then if you want to go do a different diet based off that knowledge of the macro tracking, you can follow that diet and then go back to understanding nutrition. So that if you want to go do keto, whatever it may be, you still have the education around nutrition and the fundamentals so that when you come off that diet, you can then go back to living your normal life and still continue to make progress.
Bloody amazing.
Sum it up. Cool. All right. We will see you
Next
Friday, 6 a.m. I think I release it. Or is it 6 p.m.?
But that's when they'll be listening to it.
That's when you'll hear our voices.
But you'll hear us next week.
Yeah, next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.